Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now today, I'm actually super excited to share with you two very fantastic devices that just landed here in the studio. Now the phones that I'm talking about here, as you can see from the title above, is the brand new VIVO X80 series. Now these devices here are the global version and I got them thanks to Vivo Malaysia. In terms of when they will be launching it globally or even in Malaysia for that matter, I'm not sure exactly when, but I know it's going to be really soon, maybe in 1 or 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, we can't really tell, but bear in mind that it's coming really soon. Now in case you are wondering on whether you should spend your money and just buy a phone right now, my honest advice to you is just wait for these devices to land here because hopefully they will come in at attractive prices that all of you can actually purchase because it is very stunning. Now let's talk a little bit about the devices here, but before I talk about that, actually I just want to bring up one point here, and that is the price of the VIVO X70 that was launched last September. Now last year the X70 launched for RM 2.5K here in Malaysia and the Pro version launched for RM 3.3K. So hopefully Vivo is still keeping those prices around that benchmark so it does not get too expensive, making this brand new X80 series more accessible to all of you guys out there. Now with that said, let us begin and talk about the devices. I have to mention and I have to admit that these devices here, I'm not allowed to share any specifications whatsoever, so I can only share with you basically the design of the phone. Well, the good news here is that the design does look very good, and in terms of the models itself, the blue version here is actually the VIVO X80 and the black that I have here is actually the X80 Pro. We're going to take a look at the first thing here, and that is in terms of the outright difference that we can spot. Now if you take a look at the camera sensors at the back, we notice that we have one additional square shaped sensor on the back of the Pro, and that really separates the non-Pro from the Pro. Now in terms of just design, I also felt that the Pro version feels a little bit heavier than the non-Pro version. So let's take a look at the non-Pro version first. Now just in terms of the design alone, I'm super loving the blue version right here. It looks like the Tiffany kind of blue that you see on the Tiffany & Co brand. Not sure if you're familiar with that brand, but it does look so nice here on the back of the X80. I'm sure the ladies will also like it very much. Now, if you take a closer look at the back panel here, just really zoom in on the back panel, you will notice that it sort of sparkles under certain angles of light, and I think that really looks fantastic. It is a very subtle kind of look here, and it feels extremely smooth to the touch. The matte surface here is very similar to the one on the X70 from last year, but again, it is a very good quality kind of materials on the back that feels amazing to hold. Now, in terms of the side profile and all that, you will notice that the device itself, the X80, is a very slim device. You can even see how slim the device is through the side buttons here, which are really narrow. Now, just pressing it alone, it feels a little bit, I wouldn't say challenging, but it's just, it's just a little bit tough to press on the sides here, but that is what you have to sacrifice to get that super slim profile. Now on the top here again, you still have the professional photography writing on the top, and moving on to the bottom here, you do get your Type-C port, you have stereo speakers, and of course you still have your SIM card slot at the bottom corner. Everything else looks very sleek, very nice. Now I also should point out that since the main star of the show here is actually in terms of the camera at the back, we do have a pretty large cutout for the back panel here that houses the camera sensors. But it's worth mentioning as well that it is a very thin, narrow kind of piece of cutout that is on the back that houses the cameras. It's not like a huge camera cutout. It doesn't protrude out that much. It's just a very slim piece on the back here. So I think that is also great on Vivo's side because they are able to create this very unique looking camera panel at the back here without protruding too much. So your phone won't really wobble that much on the desk. Now I'm going to jump over and talk a little bit about the X80 Pro here, the one that feels a little bit thicker than the X80. I'm not sure if it's just my hand feeling it, but it certainly feels a little bit more bulkier compared to the X80. Now the Pro version here also has a very similar look, just like the last year's X70 Pro. The back panel here comes in this black that also looks very identical, and notice that the fancy kind of starry kind of look is not that prominent on the X80, and I love that because on the previous X70 I felt that it was just a little bit too flashy for my personal liking. Other than that, it also comes in this still very smooth matte-ish back panel that does not capture any fingerprints at all. Very awesome feeling here at the back. And on the sides, you still have that same very narrow kind of power button together with that, volume rocker. And at the bottom, you also still get the same layout. You have the Type-C port, your stereo speakers, as well as your SIM card slot. Now on the top, you also still have the professional photography, but again, if you just look at the back panel over here, it has the same kind of design language as the X80. You have that same kind of camera cutout. Again, it is a very narrow and kind of slim camera cutout at the back that allows your phone not to wobble too much when you place it lying flat on your desk. Alright guys, I think that is all I can share with you just in terms of the design and what you can expect from the X80 when it lands in your country or of course here in Malaysia. Definitely super excited to see this. Me personally, I like the design a lot, especially the blue version here. I'm just going to call it Tiffany blue because it looks exactly like that. Let me know what you think of this design. Is this something you are expecting from Vivo or you are expecting a little bit more? Overall, I'm just very pleased to have these devices here, and I will definitely be testing the retail version out when that lands in a couple of weeks from today. Having said that, thank you all for staying with me today in this video. I hope you are enjoying your Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And of course, if you don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this. All the freshest tech that you can find here in Malaysia will be on the channel. Alright, stay safe and take care everybody. I hope you all have a great one. Bye!